What is happening, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. I am so excited to be back with you guys here. I took about a week's break or so to take a very relaxing and recharging vacation in Southern California with my wife and my best friend Josh and his wife. It was just a fantastic time. I think my nose is still a little bit red. I got sunburned all kinds of bad, but it was a lot of fun, and I definitely came back ready to just jump into some fresh content. And in that effort, today we are talking about a longtime friend of the channel, Odoud, and their new texture spray and texture powder. Alright, so before we get rolling on these two products here today, I want to quickly mention that my wardrobe was provided by Trendy Butler, this nice little t-shirt here, and they also sent some pants along as well. It's very cool. I get boxes every month, as you guys know. This is an unpaid feature. They actually just send me their stylist selected outfits every month in a box for me to show you guys here on the channel. It kind of helps me get out of the norm a little bit, extend my reach as far as style goes, and it oftentimes helps me try out different things that I probably wouldn't have had the guts to try out on my own. So if you'd like to check them out, I will have a link and a discount in the description there for you guys. I highly suggest you check them out. Today though, we are going to be talking about the texture spray and texture powder from Odoud's, and I believe here in the next couple of months, probably, within that time frame, I'll be featuring Odoud's a few times. I actually just had a really nice phone call with Clayton, the brewer behind Odoud's, one of the people behind the Odoud's team now. They have a lot of awesome people on their team now, but Clayton, the main guy that started the brand, we had a nice conversation. He told me about some of the things they're going to be doing in the next couple months, and of course I was interested in seeing their take on the texture spray. I was really interested in seeing what they were going to do with it, so we're going to get a look at that here today. I'm going to get into all the specs, give you guys a demo, my honest opinion. You guys know how it works. Let's get going here first with the texture spray. According to the brand, the Odoud's Apothecary Sea Salt Texture Spray is a water-soluble sea salt spray that provides a lightweight grip, lift, and texture for loose, tussled, and worn-in styles on hair of all lengths. They also note on their site that the natural oils inside the spray itself provide definition, tame flyaways, and function as a heat protectant and pre-styler. The scent is described as a green tea and bergamot scent, and it comes in an 8-ounce glass bottle for $24 US. Now, usually this is the part where I'd show you the scoop, how it scoops out, but I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's a spray, so it sprays. There's really not much else to talk about there. I mean, it's a sprayer. So let's just jump into the demo here though and see how this stuff works. For the first demo, I am gonna show you guys how this works for me as a pre-styler, which I thought was quite interesting actually. Here we got freshly cleaned hair, nothing else added, so we can see how this works by itself. And of course, we are just spraying it around here, getting it all worked in, and then it's time to blast it with the heat. And here I am blow drying, just drying my hair. But yeah, let's fast forward this here. We don't need to sit through this and just, okay, stop. No, back. Okay, back up now. Too much. Okay, there we go. Now take a look at this here. This really is slick as hell. It's smooth. It's super straight too. It's just a odd feeling. It's a very different outcome than I was expecting, really, because this spray doesn't bring in any type of stickiness. It doesn't have hold in the traditional sense, but what we can see clearly in this method of styling is it has some control here. It's not sticky, dry, or tacky in the hair, but it's got that really smooth sense of control, and it's got my hair sitting very nicely, which definitely is something. It's definitely peculiar. One thing I'm noticing here though too, and I'm pretty sure you guys can see it as well, is there's pretty much no texture though. It's very interesting for sure. Now I was a little bit curious about that texture. It was just a very peculiar result. I've never really seen a texture spray come out like that before. I mean, it was very cool, but I was really curious about that texture. I wanted to see if it was just maybe the pre-styling method that made it come out that way, It didn't bring out a lot of texture. So what I decided to do here was to test this out a different way. One of the other ways that you can apply it, you can apply this as a pre-style, or you can apply it to damp hair and allow air drying. But what I decided to do was apply it to already dried hair. I wanted to see that if I just applied it to already dried hair, if that would bring in a little more texture. I thought maybe the blow drying was what made that really peculiar / cool result. So let's take a look at that here. Here's the result I got after just applying it to straight up dried hair. I do think the texture did make a little bit of a better appearance here for sure, and I think the volume is also somewhat there. We didn't see a whole lot of that prior in the pre-styling demo, but I do think it's a little bit there. It's coming out just a tiny bit more. The control is obviously not quite as straight, you know, it's not quite as exaggerated. The hold is also a little bit more free-flowing, but I think that's one of the benefits of the blow dryer and pre-styling. I do for sure think that pre-styling with this did kind of bring out that really peculiar result, but we're going to talk more about that at the end. We do got to talk real quick about the texture powder here, so let's switch on over to that. According to the brand, again, the new texture powder dry shampoo is designed to reduce shine and work with your scalp's natural oils to revitalize your hair with workable texture and volume. It's also noted that this can be used as a standalone styling product or as a dry shampoo to revitalize your hair. Scent-wise, we are looking at labdanum, I don't know how to say that word, labdanum and lime, and it comes in a 4-ounce glass bottle for $22 US. Once again, this is the scooping section, but there's really not a scoop here. Again, honestly, I kind of feel like it's pointless to give you guys a close-up at this, but you know, here it is for those of you that need it. Here's a close-up to look at the powder. You can actually see it is a powder. I know some people will have some kind of dumb complaint if I don't show it, so here it is. It's a powder, it's dry, it's exactly what you're probably picturing it to be. So now that we've established that, let's jump straight into actually using this stuff. That's what really matters after all. Let's jump into the demo and see how this performs. For the first demo here with the powder, I decided to roll with the end result that we got with the pre-styled demo with the spray, if that makes sense. We're going back to the pre-styled demo here, and we're gonna add the powder in. I wanted to see if it could take that peculiar result that we got and kind of liven it up a little bit. And as I add that powder into my hair, I can feel it drying up a bit more, not too much, but it does add in a little bit of dryness there. I think some texture does sort of begin to appear where it was not previously. I think, you know, it kind of adds that in a little bit. It's not a ton, obviously, and the volume still isn't really improving, but there is a bit more texture there, so I do think that's a slight improvement. But honestly, it made me just even more curious to see what this would do by itself on clean dry hair, and that's what we have here. This right here is fully reset hair. I washed it out, blow dried it, and I added in the powder, and actually the difference wasn't all that much. I think there's a bit more texture, but overall the difference was not as drastic as I was thinking it was going to be. So really, I think in the end here, as far as both of these, really, the texture spray and the texture powder, I think my thick hair had somewhat of an impact on the performance, at least for the texture spray. I do think it had some effect on how visible the results were. I think you saw there, it did have this really cool kind of peculiar effect when I pre-styled with it. You know, it was really sleek. There was no sign of that wave I usually get right around here. It was just like pretty straight, which is something that I don't quite think I've seen with a texture spray before. It was just really relaxed. It was actually quite cool, if I'm honest. I think it's just very cool, but it's different. That's what I like about it. But if you're looking at what this spray is supposed to provide, like the texture, the volume, that tussled look, things like that, I didn't see a whole lot of that. I didn't see, you know, a lot of it, no matter how much I used. And we did see a lot more evidence of that in the second demo where it was just dry hair and I applied it there. There wasn't a whole lot to be seen there. There was a little bit. There was enough for me to use this, say, on like a lazy day to just keep my hair out of my face. You know, I do think that that would work absolutely, especially that pre-styled look. The finish though, that was solid. I don't think I saw any bit of shine in there, so I do think that the matte finish delivered quite nicely. And for the washout, I consider it easy. I think it left my hair feeling really nice, really soft, really healthy. And I do think a lot of that came out with water. It still left it feeling nice and soft, but I do think one shampoo ultimately was needed to get everything out. For me, that still qualifies as an easy rinse out, or easy washout, I should say. Also, real quick on the scent, oh my gosh, I swear it's got some kind of like citrus or lemon or something in it. I just freaking love this scent. This might be my favorite scent on this one that Odoud's has come out with. Seriously, I really love this scent. It's just super nice. I'm a big fan of citrusy scents though, so it kind of has that citrus vibe for me, which I thought was really nice. Moving over though to the powder here. I almost dropped that, yes. I almost didn't catch it just then. As a dry shampoo, this works just as expected. It works just as you would expect, like a regular dry shampoo out of the can. And on top of that, it doesn't weigh the hair down at all in that capacity as a dry shampoo, which is something that I've seen other dry shampoos do. They kind of weigh my hair down a little bit, and that for me was really nice. The fact that it did not do that and it still worked as a typical dry shampoo. Again though, I do think the texture was a bit light, and so was the volume. That's kind of the running theme here. However, as a rejuvenator, a dry shampoo, this did work in that capacity, and it worked very well. So I would say each one of these has some things for me that didn't quite work, but they also had some stuff that worked quite well. In the case of the powder with that dry shampoo effect, or that peculiar pre-styling result that we got with the spray. I still can't quite get over that one. It was just very cool for me to see. Something very different. I thought it was pretty nice. So if you'd like to check out either the sea salt texture spray from Odoud's or the texture powder dry shampoo, I do have a channel discount for you guys courtesy of the fine folks over at Odoud's. That is good site-wide. It's available in the description there of this video, and actually every video. You can find that and all the discounts in the description there. So check that out if you're interested and save yourself some money. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, tap that like button for me and leave me a comment there. I really appreciate that. And finally, if you haven't yet subscribed, and according to my analytics, more than half of you watching the video right now have not subscribed. So if you'd be so kind to consider that, I have some really awesome content coming out, including a major announcement, probably the biggest announcement I've ever had on this channel. So you're definitely going to want to stick around for that. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today and checking out this video. You take it easy. I'll see you next time.